Welcome to this next video in this web series we're doing on tenacity in relationship to the Common Book for 2020 and 2021, Notes from a Young Black Chef. My name is Jared Westover. I am a coordinator in the English department at Northlake College. I'm an English professor, and I've been with the college for 6 years. And I'm lucky enough to be here today to interview my colleague, Bita Zamorano. Is that right?
Oh, great.
We've just met briefly. We're not very familiar with each other, but I'm really glad to be able to spend these few moments with you. Bita, do you want to tell us a little bit about who you are?
My name is Bita Zamorano, and I teach art appreciation and art history for Northlake. And I actually am a former student of Northlake. I went there for my undergraduate and transferred to the University of North Texas. And while my time was spent at Northlake, I realized how much I love art history. So that inspired me to go on and get my 2 degrees in that subject matter. So big fan of Northlake and Dallas College in general.
That's fantastic. And Bita, how long have you been with Northlake?
I've been teaching adjuncting there for 8 years, and this year I was offered a temporary full-time contract. So I'm possibly in the process of getting hired on in a permanent position.
Well, I hope that happens. That'd be great, and we're glad to have you on the faculty at Northlake, even amidst this time when we don't get to see each other. But it requires tenacity to continue teaching in a climate like this, so that's great.
Definitely.
Well, I'm going to ask you a few questions, see if we can talk about some of the themes from this common book, namely tenacity. And Bita, how would you even define tenacity?
It's such a great question. I love that word. So tenacity for me means the drive, the will, the fire inside of you, that perseverance to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. It's really being willing to do what others are not willing to do, where they get stopped, and even where you stop yourself, your own limitations, being willing to face those and overcome that. So really could be summarized with resilience.
Resilience. I like what you said there about being willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do, like make sacrifices that other people aren't willing to do to get to where you want to be. How did you get to where you are now?
So some of the factors that I would say have supported me in life and helped me be resilient and have tenacity are, first and foremost, my belief in God. I am a huge believer in being partners with God and being a co-creator with God. So I want to acknowledge that, what a huge role He plays in my life. Second would be the people that I surround myself with, my community. And that could include our family, our blood family, but more so than not, I think it's the family that we choose in life, the community that we choose to surround ourselves with, whether it's at school, our colleagues, our personal life, our friendships. But I am pretty selective in the people that I surround myself in. I believe in the phrase, iron sharpens iron. So I like to surround myself with people who encourage me, lift me up, but really inspire me to be a better person because of knowing them. And hopefully I return that same favor to them as well. The last thing that I want to talk about as far as what got me to the point I am in my life is my practices. I think it's really important to put certain practices into place to help you achieve your goals. So whether that be just keeping a daily calendar and being sure to look at it on a daily basis, keeping task lists, a vision board. Every morning I do a meditation and I write down what it is that I want to create for the day. I think it's extremely important for us to take the personal responsibility and find what are the practices that help us achieve what we want to do and who we want to be each day.
That was a fantastic answer. especially because I heard two things in there. We don't get where we are going without other people. Like that was the first thing you brought up was your reliance on God, family, the people you surround yourself with, because nobody really achieves by themselves. And so acknowledging that and seeing how important it is to have people around you, and if you don't have them, to find the people you need to get you where you want to go, you're not going to do it alone. But the other part of that is you have to take some responsibility and put into practice these characteristics and qualities that will help you achieve. So this idea that we are successful because of our sheer will is kind of nonsense. We are successful because we are able to get the help we need, but also able to emulate those characteristics that successful people have and that we've seen in our friends or the other people who are our mentors.
Sure. Sure.
So I imagine that achieving what you have, which is quite, significant at 2 degrees from UNT and now teaching at Northlake, you probably run into some obstacles over time. What are some of the challenges or obstacles that you've had to face in your achievements where you've had to show tenacity?
So a lot of that's a great question, and I have given this great consideration, and a lot of the obstacles that I perceived, I realized they were just that. They were self-perceived or self-imposed on myself. It took a good majority of my 20s for me to realize that I had say-so, I had power, I had the ability to really, and the responsibility to create the life that I wanted. So there are many things that I could point to and say, oh, that was a setback, or that was an obstacle, or that was something that I had to overcome. But the reality is it was just there for me to do something about. It was just a mountain I had to climb. So I really had to get my own self-perception, my own agency of being able to overcome things and to really realize some of the things that in my head seemed like a mountain were really just a tiny little something that I created myself. So really they were self-imposed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I would summarize that.
So are you saying that obstacles and challenges are really opportunities and often chances for us to grow and to change and to progress? And
absolutely.
yeah, and even the idea that without obstacles and challenges, there is no growth. And that is a key fundamental to achieving is like resistance. Even if, like you said, it's perceived on our own end, or if it's some actual thing like maybe finances or health issues or some environmental circumstance, these are all things that might look like they are keeping us from where we want to go. But if we think about them differently, we realize those are the actual challenges we need to get to where we want to go. Mm-hmm. Is that about right?
That is so great. Yes, definitely. You said it more eloquently than I was able to. But
no.
Even this year, Jared, I think all of us could point at different things in 2020. In fact, we're all going to make fun of 2020 when this is over. And it's a catchphrase, oh, at least it's not like 2020. So, but this year has provided so many obstacles, opportunities for us to grow. And I think I spent the first couple of months since March really dwelling on how hard everything was, how difficult everything was. And then a light bulb just went off really in September. These are huge opportunities. This is going to be a great year to be able to look back on and say, you know what, it was hard, it was difficult, there was a lot going on, but there is so much growth to be had for us individually and collectively out of all of the obstacles and challenges that were presented to us this year. So I already feel it. I feel really positive about how this year is going to turn out. And the things that we're going to look back and learn from.
Well, let's talk about obstacles for one more second. So how did overcoming those obstacles that you brought up impact you? Beyond overcoming obstacles to get you to become an art professor, how do they impact you personally? What is the result of overcoming those obstacles for you?
Well, realizing that a mountain really can be a molehill once I shift my perception and change how I'm looking at a situation, it really gives you a sense of confidence and a sense of power to be able to go on to achieve more, to see what else is next. What else can I achieve? Now that I know this, now that I have this key component in place, what else can I take on? And it gives you a sense of confidence and worth, value, respect for the situation. So it's really provided me a powerful and joyful and confident life.
Wow. I love the idea that overcoming obstacles empowers you to overcome new obstacles. I mean, isn't that how confidence is created? By trying something difficult and then figuring out I can do hard things and then moving to that next thing. I bet I could go to that next mountain peak, right? I bet I could go for that next degree or that next class in the sequence. And just those small triumphs along the way, just sticking with it. I guess it all starts with having a vision and a goal and using that tenacity to continue no matter what the obstacles are. So you've given us some really good insights into your life, your tenacity, where you draw strength and how you've overcome and how you approach future obstacles. So I really appreciate you taking the time today, Bita, to talk to me about this. And we are so thrilled to have you at Northlake, and I hope we get to collaborate in the future sometime.
Thank you, Jared. It was a pleasure speaking with you as well.
You too. All right. Take care.